Good evening and welcome. Tonight we take you on a journey that spans continents and transcends faiths. It's the story of a man who rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most influential figures of our time, Pope Francis. Join us as we explore the key events in the life of Jorge Mario Bergoglio, who became Pope Francis and left an indelible mark on the world. From the bustling streets of Buenos Aires to the hallowed halls of the Vatican, his story is one of compassion, humility, and an unwavering commitment to social justice. Over the next hour we'll trace his path from his childhood in Argentina to his ascension to the papacy, examining the pivotal moments that shaped his worldview and continue to inspire millions around the globe. Our story begins in the heart of Argentina, in the vibrant city of Buenos Aires. It's December 17, 1936. The Bergoglio family, Italian immigrants seeking a new life, welcome their firstborn child, Jorge Mario Bergoglio. Imagine Buenos Aires in the 1930s, a city teeming with life, a melting pot of cultures. It's in this environment that young Jorge takes his first steps, unaware of the extraordinary path that lies ahead. His upbringing is modest, his family rooted in the values of hard work and faith. His father, Mario José Bergoglio, worked tirelessly as an accountant to provide for his growing family. Regina Maria Sivori, his mother, instilled in him a deep sense of piety and compassion for those less fortunate. These early influences, the bustling city and the warmth of family, would leave an indelible mark on the future pope. As Jorge matured, his path took a turn towards a higher calling. The energy of Buenos Aires and the comfort of family life couldn't diminish the growing sense of devotion within him. He felt drawn to a life of service, a life dedicated to something larger than himself. This calling led him to the Society of Jesus, the Jesuits known for their intellectual rigor and commitment to social justice. On December 13, 1969, at the age of 33, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, the boy from Buenos Aires, was ordained a priest. This was not simply a career change, it was a transformation. Donning the robes of a Jesuit priest, he embraced a life of poverty, chastity, and obedience. He immersed himself in his new role, teaching philosophy and theology, guiding young minds grappling with faith and reason. But Argentina in the 1970s was a country in turmoil, a country in the grip of a military dictatorship. Father Bergoglio, as he was now known, found himself navigating not just spiritual matters, but the treacherous waters of political oppression. Even amidst the political upheaval of Argentina in the 1970s, Father Bergoglio's unwavering commitment to his faith and his people shone through. He led by example, demonstrating a rare blend of intellectual depth and pastoral compassion. His superiors recognized his leadership qualities, his ability to inspire and guide others during those dark times. On May 20, 1992, recognition came in the form of a significant appointment. Pope John Paul II named Father Bergoglio as Auxiliary Bishop of Buenos Aires. It was a pivotal moment, elevating him to a position of greater influence within the Church. His new role placed him at the heart of a city grappling with social and economic inequalities. Bishop Bergoglio didn't shy away from these challenges, he confronted them head-on. He walked the slums of Buenos Aires, offering solace to the poor and marginalized. He spoke out against corruption and injustice, challenging those in power. His actions resonated with the people. They saw in him a man of the people, a man who understood their struggles and spoke for the voiceless. Chapter 4. The Cardinal of Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires, with its vibrant culture and complex social fabric, had become Bishop Bergoglio's spiritual home. His connection with the people deepened, his reputation as a humble and compassionate leader growing with each passing day. Then in 1998, another turning point. Cardinal Antonio Quaretzino, the Archbishop of Buenos Aires, passed away. It was a significant loss for the Church in Argentina. Yet, from the grief emerged a sense of hope, a collective belief that Bishop Bergoglio was the natural successor. He had, after all, become the voice of the voiceless, the shepherd guiding his flock through challenging times. His appointment as Archbishop of Buenos Aires solidified his position as a leading figure in the Catholic Church. But his story was far from over. The world, not just Argentina, was about to take notice of this humble priest from Buenos Aires. On February 21, 2001, Pope John Paul II bestowed upon him the highest honor in the Catholic Church, short of the papacy itself. Jorge Mario Bergoglio, the boy from Buenos Aires, was elevated to the College of Cardinals. Chapter 5. The Weight of the World. The world watched, captivated, on that historic day in 2013. White smoke billowed from the chimney atop the Sistine Chapel, signaling the culmination of the papal conclave. The anticipation was palpable, a sense of history in the making. Who would emerge on that balcony overlooking St. Peter's Square? And then, the announcement that reverberated around the world. Annuntio vobis gaudium magnum, habemus papam, we have a pope. But this was no ordinary papal election. This time the newly elected pontiff was not a European archbishop. He was not even European. He was Cardinal Jorge Mario Bergoglio of Argentina, and he had chosen the name Francis, after Saint Francis of Assisi, the patron saint of the poor and the environment. At that moment, the world met its 266th pope, a man who would redefine the papacy for the 21st century. Chapter 6. A New Kind of Papacy. From the moment he stepped onto the balcony overlooking St. Peter's Square, Pope Francis captivated the world with his humility and warmth. He broke with tradition, choosing to wear simple white vestments and eschewing the lavish papal apartments for a modest suite in the Vatican guest house. This was a pope who preferred to dine with the Vatican workers, to wash the feet of prisoners on Holy Thursday. He embraced the sick and the marginalized, reminding the world that the Church was a place for all, regardless of their background or beliefs. His papacy was one of firsts. He was the first pope from the Americas, the first Jesuit pope, and the first to take the name Francis. But more than that, he was a pope who understood the challenges of the modern world, a world grappling with poverty, inequality, and environmental degradation. Pope Francis's vision extended beyond the walls of the Vatican. He called for a poor church for the poor, urging the faithful to care for the most vulnerable members of society. He challenged world leaders to address climate change, reminding them that we have a moral obligation to protect our planet. Chapter 7. A Journey of Mercy. It was a scorching summer day in 2013 when Pope Francis embarked on a journey that would capture the world's attention. He wasn't heading to a grand palace or a renowned cathedral. His destination was Lampedusa, a tiny island off the coast of Sicily, a place that had become synonymous with the plight of refugees desperately seeking a better life. Images of the Pope walking among the makeshift tents, his hand outstretched in compassion towards those who had risked everything to escape war and poverty, were beamed around the world. His message was clear: we have become used to the suffering of others. It doesn't concern us, it doesn't interest us, it's not our business. This was not diplomacy, it was a cry from the heart, a searing indictment of the global indifference to human suffering. The trip to Lampedusa was a defining moment in Pope Francis's papacy. It was a powerful reminder that the Church's mission was not confined to the walls of its churches, but extended to the margins of society, to those who were forgotten and left behind. Chapter 8. Who am I to judge? It was a simple question posed by a journalist during a papal flight back to Rome, but Pope Francis's answer sent shockwaves through the Catholic Church and beyond. Who am I to judge? He responded when asked about gay priests serving within the Church. These 5 words, spoken with a disarming blend of humility and compassion, marked a significant shift in tone from previous papacies. While the Church's teachings on homosexuality remained unchanged, Pope Francis's words signaled a more welcoming and pastoral approach towards LGBTQ+ Catholics. His message was one of inclusion, of recognizing the inherent dignity of every individual, regardless of their sexual orientation. It was a message that resonated with many, both within and outside the Church, who saw in Pope Francis a leader who was willing to engage with the complexities of the modern world with empathy and understanding. Chapter 9. A Call to Action. Pope Francis's vision for a more just and compassionate world extended beyond his words. He put his ideals into action, challenging the status quo and calling for systemic change. In his landmark papal encyclical Laudato Si', he addressed the urgent issue of climate change, framing it not just as an environmental crisis, but as a moral imperative. He criticized the unfettered pursuit of profit and the throwaway culture that were destroying our planet, calling for a new model of development that prioritized the common good over individual gain. His message resonated with people of all faiths and none, galvanizing a global movement for climate justice. He inspired world leaders to take action, leading to the historic Paris Agreement on climate change. Pope Francis's encyclical was a watershed moment, demonstrating the power of faith to mobilize action on one of the most pressing issues of our time. Chapter 10. A Bridge Between Worlds. In May 2014, Pope Francis embarked on a historic pilgrimage to the Holy Land, a land sacred to three of the world's major religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. It was a journey fraught with symbolism, a chance to build bridges between faiths and promote a message of peace and reconciliation. One unscripted moment during that trip spoke volumes about Pope Francis's commitment to dialogue and understanding. As his motorcade drove alongside the towering concrete wall separating Israel from the West Bank, he made an unexpected stop. Stepping out of his vehicle, he approached the wall, placing his forehead against the cold concrete in silent prayer. It was a powerful image, a gesture of solidarity with the Palestinian people and a call for an end to the conflict that had divided the region for decades. Outro, a legacy of compassion. From the streets of Buenos Aires to the Vatican, the journey of Pope Francis is one of deep faith, unwavering compassion, and an unyielding commitment to justice. He has challenged us to see the face of Christ in the poor, the marginalized, and the forgotten. He has reminded us that we are all interconnected, and that our actions have consequences for our planet and for future generations. These key moments highlight the impactful journey of Pope Francis, a leader who has left a lasting legacy on the world stage. His papacy has been a beacon of hope, a call to action, and a reminder that even in our divided world, there is still room for compassion, dialogue, and love.